Hey folks, this is man once again, and this time I'm reviewing a film that's actually a pretty solid sequel, believe it or not. From Dusk Till Dawn to Texas Blood Money. Now the film is kind of a prequel to the first From Dusk Till Dawn movie. I mean, it takes place in a time where the Titty Twister is still going, and Titty Twister, the bar in the first one, plays a little small role, as does Danny Trejo, the bartender. It's a small role. I'll get to that in a minute, but this is a really solid film directed by Scott Spiegel, same guy who directed a slasher film called Intruder, which is a very solid slasher movie via its special effects and interesting direction by camera angles, point of view shots, framing. Just, the guy took a lot of lessons from his buddy Sam Raimi, and he made what can be pedestrian films much more interesting from his direction. And this is the same thing. Long story short, you have Robert Patrick as an ex-convict, and the way that the film starts off is pretty interesting in the fact that you think you're watching one movie with Tiffany Amber Thiessen from Saved by the Bell and Bruce Campbell in an elevator, and they're like talking about dialogue out of Law and Order, basically about their lawyers, the DA, all this bullshit. Then the elevator gets stopped. Oh shit, there's fucking bats. They're both getting killed, and then you find out it's actually something on the TV that Robert Patrick's watching. And this guy that he knew, escaped from jail, not from jail, but like he was being transferred, he escaped, and he calls Robert Patrick to get some buddies, go to Mexico for a robbery. So Robert Patrick gets some fellas, and they're heading down to Mexico, and the other guys will meet him there, and the other guy is an actor named Dwayne Whitaker. He's the guy, if you remember in Feast, the guy who's sort of the boss of the bar, sort of big guy, beard, mustache. I think he has sort of like a cowboy hat in Feast. Just the big guy. He's sort of like the boss guy. Like at one point, he gets part of his foot blown off. That's the guy. And he's driving. He hits a bat, and he actually shoots it. And he walks to the Titty Twister, where you have Danny Trejo. That's why it's sort of a prequel. Basically, he hears about the guy hitting the bat. Says, okay, I'm off in half an hour, I'll take you where you need to go. Takes him back to where the guy's car fucked up. And the bat, of course, was Danny Trejo's buddy, and they attack Dwayne Whitaker's character. And, of course, he's a vampire, and he meets up with the guys in Mexico. And, long story short, he turns one of them. They're at the bank, they're robbing it, police come, and then the third act is a fucking massacre, and that's all I'll say about that. But anyway, why I like this movie a lot, it's a fun vampire movie. It doesn't seem much, a part 2, direct-to-video, direct-to-DVD film, but it's one of those films, don't judge a book by its cover. It has, first off, capable cast. Robert Patrick does a great job. I mean, it's a shame he doesn't get too many lead roles, but he did great here. He's a convict, but he's not as horrible as the others. At one point, they've killed the guard. He's like, well, why did you have to kill the guard? And he's noticing what's going on. And he's like, well, I don't want any part of this. And he finally joins up at the end with the sheriff, played by Bo Hopkins. Another great actor, solid performance. And the other robbers, you have Raymond Cruz. You can't see him, he's the guy over here. Can't see him from the glare. But he's been in a couple films, including Alien Resurrection, among others. But this was just a really fun cast of characters. Once again, the direction was really on par for the director Scott Spiegel. He really knows how to do the direction. There's so many scenes, point of view shots. If a vampire gets decomposed and there's a skull, You see a point of view from inside the skull, looking at Robert Patrick who killed it, or looking through the rib cage. Point of view shots of like the guy trying to crack the safe. You see the camera going like if it's this, it's like little stuff like that, and like each scene and the way it frames. Like you have a guy like shutting himself in the door. He's like right here, and then you see the girl over here go, rise up from the bathtub. Just one of the guys was having sex with a girl, and then she took a shower, and then she got bit by a vampire, and then it's really the guy they're supposed to meet down there in Mexico, and there's a big fight. And what I'm talking about, and also during that fight, like the guy's fighting with this girl in the bathroom, the vampire, you see like a reflection in the mirror, and it really plays a good trick on the, you can't see vampire's reflection. You just see the guy fighting by himself in the mirror, and Simon's like doing like exactly what I'm doing now. You can't see anything in his hand, and then the mirror just explodes, and it cuts to a slide shot of the woman getting hit into the mirror. It's really good editing, good cuts. Oh yeah, it took me like what the fuck. I rewound it 1 or 2 times. Like, oh yeah, you can't see in the reflection, and they play that trick very well. Has some good practical effects by KMB. The only problems I have is sometimes with the bats they use CGI. Sometimes it's the practical puppets like they did in the first film, but once in a while it's those shitty CGI bats. Also in the melting, but it was the same problem in the first movie where they have a lot of good melting or the vampire death scenes, like a lot of practical stuff, but then they mix it in with the bad CGI morphin shots of the melting, which is might as well, why don't you just do it all practical? But at least they mix it with some practical. Again, KMB, get some good gore. Like one of the vampires actually takes a guy's sniper rifle and keeps stabbing with it, the sniper rifle. And you talk about point of view shots. Like there's a scene where 1 or 2 scenes where vampire bites someone on the neck, and you see it from inside the vampire's mouth. Like you see the inside of the vampire's mouth clamping on a neck. It's like, oh wow, that's a cool point of view shot. I mean, that's why the framing, or like the point of view shots, like Robert Patrick's talking to one of his buddies, and the buddy's doing push-ups, so the camera's going up, down, and you see from his point of view shot of the guy watching Robert Patrick's doing push-ups. And just also had some fun moments of the script, like the same guy, he uses dogs to fight, so he has this dog. Robert Patrick's like, oh, Jaws looking good. And the guy goes, well, Jaws died. This is Jaws 2. I got him on the juice. And he has like the dog on a leash, and the dog's walking on a treadmill. It's like, I gotta get him ready for the dog fights, I don't know, or they're like watching porn, and they're like, man, it'd be nice if they had a plot. Robert Patrick's like, plot? You don't need a plot. It's a fuck movie. When I watch a fuck movie, I just want to see fucking. And other people, I don't know, just really interesting scene of dialogue there. And I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. It's a short movie. It's 88 minutes long. The third act, you get a lot of good action sequences because the vampires, they try to go in to kill them, and they've killed some of the cops coming in. And the 4 walk out with fucking machine guns. 2 of them have machine guns with grenade launchers. They're shooting some grenade launchers, blowing up cop cars. You get a lot of gunfights. 2 vampires look at each other. They both kick a cop car, and you see the cop car actually slide. Always reminds me of Superman 2, like when they slid the car. Practical. They slid the car practically too, which was cool. And it knocks 2 cops over, and there's a little explosion as well. They just went all out, and it was a lot of fun, entertaining. They don't take the film tremendously seriously as well. I don't know, just a lot of fun. A lot of entertainment. Script's more than decent, acting's good, and once again the direction, you take even if it's a okay story, you take that director and a above average script, and you made it just much more interesting. Again, the point of view shots and the framing, and it just has a lot going for us. What I'm getting at. Just like another sequel, Tremors 2 Aftershocks, that's a really good sequel. Went direct to video or DVD, how you want to call it, but it's still a solid film. I got this at Walmart for $7.50. And again, don't judge a book by its cover. From Dusk Till Dawn 2, Texas Blood Money is a very good sequel. I strongly recommend it. Anyone who likes interesting direction, anyone who likes fun with their vampire films, it's worth a watch. So thanks for watching, and take care.